What is up, guys? Taylor Wiglicki here, the physical therapist with Complete Human Performance and Complete Human Corrective Solutions. Coming to talk to you a little bit on Sunday for let's call it a recovery series. We're going to be doing kind of during the Open this year. So there's plenty of people who do like a strategizing for the Open, how to warm up, how to kind of work through the different elements for each workout. One thing I've noticed that there's a relative lack on is how to recover from the workouts, man. So this time of year for the CrossFit community is a big one. I know it's a little different here in 2019 without some of the buildup and hullabaloo typically associated with each workout's announcement. But that doesn't make the workouts any less difficult. 19.1 was a perfect example of a really well-designed and brutal workout in terms of the 15 minutes of struggle you have to put in. The workout for 19.1, for those who don't know, for 15 minutes, as many reps as possible, you do 19 wall balls, immediately followed by a 19-calorie row. So my job here as a physical therapist was to try to kind of look at the workout and see if we could figure out a couple things that, one, might be necessary to address post-workout, from a mobility standpoint, from a soreness standpoint, from a recovery standpoint, just to make sure you're kind of moving well and ready before you kind of get into 19.2 this coming Thursday. Now, one thing I've caught a couple of times, this will be my third Open, so granted I'm still a relative newbie at this, but having been in the physical therapy game for up to almost 7 years now, the Open is when a lot of people tend to get hurt. It is not necessarily due to the workouts, and I think it's more due to the intensity. Folks go really hard on these workouts. They'll do them once that Thursday or Friday. They'll do them again over the weekend, and then you go right back into that next Thursday or Friday and go again. And just that relative frequency of high-intensity work is unique compared to the rest of the year when you're not necessarily going as hard as possible against the clock every time. So this week, I kind of wanted to talk about a couple areas of irritation with the workout we have, just to kind of trouble spots that we need to make sure we address just to be safe. The good news is with this workout, the loading from a volume standpoint is still kind of high, depending on how hard you go. But the loading from an intensity standpoint, in like the wall ball is going to be 14 to 20 pounds. The rower is just the rower. There's no heavy barbell or heavy dumbbell this week. So your repetitive motions are fairly simple in terms of the wall ball and the row. And so our muscle groups and kind of areas of interest are fewer than they might be depending on how complex if we get into triplets and more couplets and so forth moving ahead. First place we want to take a look at, obviously, is the quads. I don't know how many of y'all have done the workout already. I have, and I did it Friday, and I'm still sore on Sunday. So one of the big things we want to take a look at is making sure we address the blood flow to those quads. Sunday or Monday, depending on if you're doing the workout again, would be a great time to kind of just keep moving. If you want to foam roll, great. I think that's an individual thing. What I'm recommending to most of my clients is to go ahead and get to walking, get on the bike, ride easy, just get moving, get blood flowing through the system just to make sure everything's doing like it's supposed to. From there, upper traps for a lot of folks, for me as well, making sure that we not only manage the stiffness and soreness here, but also do some rotator cuff activation work. The upper trap tends to be kind of the bully of the shoulder girdle, and we don't want this getting kind of irritated and then staying irritated so that any overhead press type work moving ahead could potentially work in some shoulder pain problems. I'm thinking handstand push-ups will probably show up again. There'll be some more overhead movements, so we need to make sure that shoulder's moving like it's supposed to. Finally, low back tissues, obviously a lot of rowing, a lot of low back. So making sure that you're working in plenty of good stuff into the warm-up, keep that hip and lumbo-pelvic rhythm working together again. Just take your time warming up, do some activation work for that hip. Try to get everything gliding like it's supposed to. Couple that in with, again, that bike, the walking, and just getting that general aerobic blood flow in. And I think you'll be moving well and feeling pretty good come Thursday. Any questions? Let me know in the comments.